Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody. I can tell all my law enforcement brothers and sisters filled in from the back. Of course, we expect nothing different. But on behalf of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, I want to welcome you to the 2021 awards ceremony. As the Natrona County Sheriff, it is my absolute honor and privilege to work alongside some of the most incredible law enforcement professionals this great country has to offer. As Sheriff, I am truly blessed to have good people with good hearts, serving and caring for our citizens and community as a whole. Every year, our Sheriff's Office has the opportunity to recognize outstanding achievements and efforts of the employees of this office. Today, we recognize several employees for specific and significant actions throughout 2021. Although these select employees are recognized today for their actions, I am grateful and proud of every employee of this office. Their dedication to serving the citizens of Natrona County is nothing but extraordinary. The Natrona County Sheriff's Office was founded in 1889 and has an extensive, storied history of providing the highest of standards in professional law enforcement services to our citizens. These traditions of selfless service continue today. I want to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to the citizens of Natrona County. It is because of your investment of support, care, and concern of the law enforcement professionals in your community that in turn drives them to make the sacrifices and heroic actions necessary to accomplish great things on your behalf. I truly believe that we live in the greatest state in the nation, serving the best community. I wouldn't wish to live, raise a family, or be a law enforcement officer anywhere else. I owe a great debt of gratitude to all of you. We begin the ceremony today recognizing the employees who have dedicated their lives to serving the citizens of Natrona County. The strength of this office is directly attributed to the knowledge, commitment, and abilities of many dedicated employees who sacrifice so much of their lives to serve our community every day. It is an honor for me to share appreciation and recognition for the following employees for their dedicated service to the citizens of Natrona County. We recognize employees with 20 years of service: Sergeant Shane Rinker and Deputy Rod Birkle. Please come forward. Deputy Birkle has retired since we've handed out this 20-year plaque, but thankful to say that he's still in service to the citizens of Natrona County. Thank you, Deputy Birkle. We will also recognize employees with 15 years of service: Stacie Julian, Deputy Kelli Wilson, Deputy Michael Scott, Investigator Drew Cotton, Corporal Brad Crimm, Sergeant Sean Ellis. Please come forward. Next, we'll recognize those employees with 10 years of service: Deputy Jay Snider, Sergeant Greg Saylor, Sergeant Tony Dill. Please come forward. They must all be working today. Anyways, thank you for your service. We appreciate it. 10 years of service. Thank you. Next, we recognize the employees with 5 years of service. Deputy Craig Kirby, Deputy Ross Diehl, Corporal Todd Christensen, and Corporal James Saylor. Please come forward. All right. I know we're paying them for something. They're putting in their work today. Well, thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Next, we have several special recognitions, and we're starting off with Lifesaving medals. I can't say enough about this particular medal. These incidents are things that our deputies respond to on a daily basis, and these particular incidents rise to that level where the selection committee reviewed it and decided that their actions were worthy of a life-saving medal. So on November 14th, 2021, before I tell you about the incident, maybe I should call Deputy Dan Bill and Deputy Ryan Schulz forward. You get to stand here for the whole spiel. On November 14th, 2021, at nearly 4 a.m., Deputy Beall and Deputy Schulz responded to a call for an unconscious person on Johnstone Road. Deputy Schulz arrived first on scene and found the person to be unconscious, not breathing, and without a pulse. Without hesitation, Deputy Schulz began CPR. Deputy Beall arrived on scene shortly after and assumed CPR. Both deputies continued CPR until medical personnel arrived and the person was transported to the hospital. Ambulance personnel relayed that the person regained a pulse and was receiving ongoing treatment at Wyoming Medical Center. Deputy Beall and Deputy Schulz performed well under pressure and provided imminent professional treatment to the unconscious person until medical personnel could transport the patient, ultimately saving his life. Deputy Schulz and Deputy Beall's quick response and decisive action directly assisted in the saving of human life. Deputy Schulz and Deputy Beall's actions reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest of standards and traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Wait, Ryan. Go back. I missed Ryan.
Come back.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Got it, thank you.
Next, we have another life-saving medal recognition. Corporal Tiffany Carlson, Corporal Justin Dorman, Deputy Lester Sierra, and Deputy John Bruce. Please come forward. Don't be shy. On August 9th, 2021, at approximately 7:45 p.m., Corporals Tiffany Carlson and Justin Dorman and Deputies Lester Sierra and John Bruce were on duty at the Natrona County Detention Center. During their shift, an inmate initiated a conversation with a tower operator over the intercom system. The inmate explained that one of their cellmates was attempting to commit suicide. An assistance call was aired over the portable radio. Deputies quickly responded and discovered the inmate losing consciousness from attempting to hang themselves. Deputy Bruce was the first to respond and pick the victim up to alleviate the tension and pressure around their neck. Corporal Dorman and Deputy Sierra cut the ligature from the victim's neck. Deputy Bruce and Corporal Carlson stabilized the inmate and began efforts for the victim to regain consciousness. The person was transported to the Wyoming Medical Center for further treatment. The rapid response and quick action of deputies significantly contributed to saving a human life. The actions of Corporal Carlson, Corporal Dorman, Deputy Sierra, and Deputy Bruce reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest of traditions and standards of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Congratulations, strong work. Do you want me in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Group picture. I'm like making.
Yeah, bring it.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, strong work. Appreciate it. On a personal note, I really think it's just incredible all the good work that our deputies do for the community. As we continue this, our next and final life-saving recognition, Deputy Dexter Bryant, please come forward. This one may take a minute. Deputy Bryant is receiving 5 life-saving medals and a Medal of Valor. During 2021, Deputy Bryant has saved the lives of multiple Natrona County citizens. On January 15th, Deputy Bryant responded to a residence for an unconscious person. Upon arrival, he found an unresponsive person without a pulse. Deputy Bryant performed CPR, used the AED, and continued CPR until medical personnel arrived. Deputy Bryant's efforts were successful and the patient left the scene alive. This was Deputy Bryant's first time providing CPR to a patient in crisis. On March 25th, Deputy Bryant responded to a suicide attempt. Upon arrival, the individual was found to not have a pulse, and the AED advised no shock. Deputy Bryant conducted several rounds of chest compressions, and upon the paramedics' arrival, the individual had regained a strong heart rhythm and was transported to the hospital for further medical attention. On August 14th, Deputy Bryant responded to a residence for a medical assist and found a person with no signs of life and without a pulse. It was learned that the person had been down for at least 10 minutes. Deputy Bryant provided life-saving CPR. On November 25th, Deputy Bryant responded to a residence for a report of an unconscious person. Upon his arrival, the person was unresponsive and turning blue. Deputy Bryant immediately recognized the situation to be an opiate overdose. Deputy Bryant administered Narcan, which brought the person back from the brink of death. On December 18th, Deputy Bryant responded to a residence and assisted Mills police officers with an unconscious person. Once on scene, Deputy Bryant recognized the man to be experiencing an opiate overdose. Deputy Bryant administered Narcan, reviving the man until medical personnel arrived to administer further aid. And on July 10th, Deputy Bryant and Sergeant Mark Barr responded to a water rescue on an island near the west end of Chirac Road. Upon arrival, deputies found 2 people in the water hanging onto a branch. Deputy Bryant immediately recognized the seriousness of the situation and jumped into the water to swim out to the island, despite the strong, swift current and the obvious high risk to his own safety. Deputy Bryant acted fast, stripping his gear, putting on a life jacket, and swam to the island. Deputy Bryant pulled both individuals who were extremely exhausted and in distress onto the island, ultimately saving their lives. Deputy Bryant is receiving 5 life-saving awards and a Medal of Valor for these actions. Deputy Bryant's actions reflect great credit upon himself and are in keeping with the highest of traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Strong work, Deputy Bryant. You have a free. Thank you, strong work. Our next presentation is for the 2021 Peace Officer of the Year. Investigator Ken Jividen, please come forward. I tried to condense the idea of what Ken Jividen does for the Sheriff's Office and the community into a paragraph or so, and it's pretty impossible. I can assure you that every single day, Investigator Jividen gives more than 100%, day and night, not only to the citizens of Natrona County, but to his fellow employees, his colleagues, his brothers and sisters at the Sheriff's Office. I'll try to sum that up, but please know that there's far more depth to what this really represents. The Natrona County Sheriff's Investigator, Ken Jividen, has served the citizens of Natrona County and the Sheriff's Office for 16 years. He has served in numerous divisions within our office, as well as on the Special Response Team. He has been in investigations for 7 years. During the 2021 year, significant events transpired. Our investigations unit handled cases that have been involved in shootings, stabbings, a substantial homicide investigation, and several large-scale burglary and theft investigations. The complexity of handling these cases while at times short on manpower was challenging. Investigator Jividen stepped up in a multitude of ways. He covered numerous on-call shifts when he wasn't on call. He responded many times to call-outs when he wasn't the designated on-call investigator. He answered those calls in order to lead, support, and care for his fellow colleagues. It would be difficult to highlight every case and every dynamic of which Investigator Jividen took charge of, because there are countless. And when I say countless, I truly mean countless. Thank you for consistently going above and beyond. Investigator Jividen's consistent action reflects great credit upon himself and are in keeping with the highest of standards and traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Well deserved. Congratulations. Our next presentation is for the 2021 Detention Officer of the Year. Corporal Brendon Littau, please come forward. Corporal Littau has been a member of the Sheriff's Office for 9 years and has dedicated his career to the Natrona County Detention Center. And I gotta tell you, our detention officers are the unsung heroes. They don't get much credit. Their entire job, their professional career is behind walls. If the citizens hear their name, something has probably gone really wrong. But the fact of the matter is that the detention center never stops. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, any weather, any holiday, they're up there working to make sure that the people that are entrusted to our care are in our care safely, and they're in our custody and they're not out in the community. So I can't say enough for our detention officers. They're up there every single day doing the work for our community. So thank you all, but let me get back to it here before I get too distracted. So Corporal Littau was promoted to the rank of corporal in October of 2022. Corporal Littau has served as a field training officer for the majority of his career, training a large amount of the current deputies at the detention center. Corporal Littau has a strong work ethic and drive to better the sheriff's office by training the next generation of deputies to the highest of standards. He has exceeded the expectations of training and has given every trainee assigned to him the proper skills to operate safely in the detention center, ultimately allowing them to return home safe to their families at the end of each day. Corporal Littau is extremely deserving of this award for his commitment to the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, the FTO program, his crew, and the countless trainees he has taught over the last 9 years. Corporal Littau's actions reflect great credit to himself and are in keeping with the highest of standards and traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and the law enforcement profession. Thank you. Our next presentation is for the 2021 Civilian Employee of the Year, Gordon Schuler. Please come forward. Gordon has been an employee with the county for 19 years. 16 of those years has been with the Natrona County Sheriff's Office IT department. He assists all deputies, civilian staff, and administrators in bringing forth updated technology to the Sheriff's Office. When a technical issue arises, Gordon is always a phone call away at any time, day or night. He continuously works long hours in an effort to not interrupt the workflow of our deputies. Gordon maintains responsibility for many of our operating systems within the Sheriff's Office. He is consistently working on troubleshooting systems within the detention center, patrol vehicles, the downtown office, and beyond. He ensures that everything is working properly so that everyone can do their job safely and efficiently. He has proved to be the go-to for our technical questions and concerns. He has been instrumental in coordinating a new camera video system for the Juvenile Detention Center, the Natrona County Detention Center, and the Townsend Center. With that can come a long list of technical issues. Gordon always approaches them with positive attitude and is ready to develop solutions. Gordon's actions reflect great credit upon himself and are in keeping with the highest standards and traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office. Gordon, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Our next presentation is for the 2021 Volunteer of the Year Award. Colt Adams, please come forward. I would have never recognized you.
Brightest shirt in the county.
Colt has been a volunteer with the Natrona County Sheriff's Office since January of 2019. Colt joined our outstanding group of volunteers specifically serving with the Search and Rescue Group. In 2021, Colt became a tracking team leader. He has shown great discipline, both in bettering himself professionally and in assisting with the training of other volunteers. In 2021, Colt logged nearly 100 hours in training and deployments for the Natrona County Sheriff's Office. All of those outside of his professional tracker requirements. Those deployment efforts were in support of planned public events, Sheriff's Office investigative support, and search and rescue. The way in which Colt serves is an outstanding example of the quality of volunteers within the Natrona County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for your commitment. Congratulations. Our next presentation is a letter of commendation. Investigator Joe Wistison, please come forward. Hi, Joe. Investigator Joe Wistison has been a member of our Sheriff's Office for 20 years. He currently serves in investigations, but previously he was a patrol deputy in our Operations Division. On May 27th, 2021, while Investigator Wistison was on duty, a report of a young person making suicidal statements, but whose whereabouts were unknown, came into dispatch. The person's vehicle was located by another agency. However, it was unoccupied. Deputies began searching Rotary Park to locate the person. They climbed the east side of the canyon and located the person on the west cliff, perched precariously on the cliffside well away from any trail. Approximately 100 feet or more above the bottom of the canyon. There was a sheer drop from where the female was sitting to the bottom. Deputies climbed the steep canyon wall until they made it to the female's location. Upon arrival, they found the landing she was sitting on to be no bigger than a small-sized kitchen table. Deputies spoke with the person at length. She stated she was suicidal and contemplating jumping off the cliff. Due to her precarious position, it was exceptionally dangerous for deputies to approach her for the risk of falling. Deputies spent an hour talking with the female in an attempt to rebuild a rapport and persuade her to come down unwillingly. Ultimately, deputies felt they weren't making headway and that more high-risk rescue plans were needed to be put in motion. Deputy Wistison arrived on scene and climbed to the female's location. He politely, if you know Joe, that is not a stretch of words, he politely and professionally introduced himself. Deputy Wistison engaged in a conversation, and after just 7 minutes, the female agreed to come off the cliff and walk down the deputies. Deputy Wistison's colleagues were astounded with his ability to quickly build a relationship and gain the trust of the female. Not only that, but she went from expressing suicidal thoughts to laughing and joking. Once safely at the bottom, Deputy Wistison went the extra step in providing resources for the female. He contacted counseling resources and made arrangements for her to voluntarily enroll into a counseling program. He even drove her there himself and stayed well past the end of a shift to make sure she was enrolled and comfortable with the process. When speaking about the incident later to his colleagues, Deputy Wistison humbly stated it was the right thing to do. Not only were Deputy Wistison's verbal and negotiation skills astonishing, but the performance of his duties were the epitome of quality and professionalism. Deputy Wistison's actions reflect great credit to himself and are in the keeping with the highest of traditions of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office and law enforcement profession. Well done, Joe. I knew people would keep me in line. Yeah. Our next presentation is a letter of recognition to Eric Peterson, Natrona County Road and Bridge. Eric, please come forward. I saw you hiding in the back. Mechanic Eric Peterson has been employed with the Natrona County Road and Bridge since May 2018. Upon being selected, Eric was assigned to work on all vehicles operated by staff and deputies of the Natrona County Sheriff's Office. Eric has learned how to maintain a variety of vehicles as well as specialized equipment such as armored vehicles and all-terrain vehicles. During the time that Eric has been employed with Natrona County Road and Bridge, he has set an example for others to follow in how he conducts his daily tasks. He always displays a positive attitude towards others, shows an unwavering willingness to help, and goes the extra mile to accomplish tasks at hand. He has been called upon to work into early, stay late in the evening, and has been called out when extra assistance is needed by those in law enforcement. He is reliable and trustworthy. A direct example was when Eric went with investigators to a city several hours away, working long into the night to ensure a vehicle involved in a high-profile investigation was securely stored as evidence. Eric has rescued several deputies when a vehicle has failed during a shift, ensuring the safe return of the vehicles and the deputies. He is dedicated to our mission in helping the citizens of Natrona County. Always displays a positive attitude and puts forth effort, and has the willingness to go above and beyond to ensure the safety and quality of the vehicles operated by those employed by our Sheriff's Office. Eric, thank you for your hard work and dedication.
You'll get it down. You'll just get it down.
Our last presentation is the Citizen Meritorious Service Award. Debbie Worth, please come forward. Thank you, Debbie. In early December 2021, our deputies were investigating copper wire thefts from a drilling business. As part of their efforts to identify a suspect, deputies went door to door in the neighborhood speaking with homeowners. A vigilant citizen, Debbie Worth, called in on December 8th to report lights continuously going on and off on the drilling rig and a truck in the area with its headlights off. Due to her timely call to dispatch, deputies were able to catch the suspects leaving the area of the rig. Debbie could have continued on with her night without calling the suspicious acts into dispatch. But instead, she went above and beyond, helping her neighbors. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We appreciate that. Thank you. Well, that concludes our 2021 award ceremony. Thank you everybody for coming. We'll be around for a bit if you want to visit. I'm always willing to brag about our folks, so I'll have plenty to say. But thank you again for attending.